Well, hello. I'd like to welcome you to my review of the Scrikss 419. This is the first Turkish pen I've ever owned and the first Turkish pen I've ever reviewed. So let's dive into it. If videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens both new and old and at all price points, I would invite you to subscribe. And hey, do you know any other currently existing fun fountain pen manufacturers in countries we may not think of? Let us know in the comments down below. So let's take a look at the Scrikss 419. Now you know my interest in some of these lesser known brands from Europe and, well, all over really. Scrikss is one I had never heard of. I was quite surprised after I purchased this to find out that Scrikss is not a company of the past. Scrikss is still going strong and has quite a nice catalog of pens. Although from what I can tell, this pen is not in it. This pen is, I bought red. I think I had black as my other choice. Black or blue, one of those. There we go. Not much branding on it. Scrikss. And more Scrikss with two S's. And then the clip has this S on it. Piston turning knob. I think it's a rather elegant solution. It is the piston turning knob, and yet they did a great job kind of hiding it, making it not stand out, but yet you know what it is. I just kind of thought that was nice. Nothing really on the finials. Very generous ink window. Quite a good feed. And the nib, also branded Scrikss. And obviously a piston pen. The Scrikss brand was established in 1963 in Turkey. It comes from the Spanish. It's a Spanish term from escruire. I'm going to mess this up. Escruire, which is actually not Spanish. It's Catalan, which is another language spoken in Spain. The first Turkish pen was made in 1966, and actually in 1974 they started making some Waterman pens. This particular pen was designed in the late 1980s in Germany, and all but the nib are produced in Turkey. The nib itself, oh, now I remember why this was so familiar. The nib itself is apparently compatible with the Pelikan M150. That's where I've seen that feed before, because I used to have a Pelikan, what was it, an M205, which has got a feed sort of like that. The partnership with Waterman ended in 1984 when they became a cross distributor. So I'm quite pleased with this pen. So let's see how it writes. I don't officially know that this is a medium nib, but it seems to write like one. The ink is rather disappointing. Sorry. Noodler's House Divided. Yay. Just not the color I saw when I purchased it. It's more of a brown. Meh. Disappointing. You know, I see the color when I write with it, but then it just turns into this. And on some of the paper I've been using this ink with, it's kind of feathery. So as far as flex, well, this is a steel nib. See, there's the color I should be getting. I think it has some character and some line variation, just not flex. Wetness and flow, I think you can tell. This is a pretty good pen, although this may not be the best ink to demonstrate that with. I will also mention that last summer I had this down in my basement. I'd filmed a review of it, and then I had my hard drive crash, a literal hard drive crash, where I dropped my external hard drive on the floor and lost all my reviews. This was one of the reviews I lost, and it sat down there for a couple months because I just didn't get around to filming the new review for whatever reason, and then it started right up. But I did end up washing it out and putting a new ink in it. And so I'm finally doing that review, and it's stored more safely so that doesn't happen again. See the smear test. I think I'd need to be careful if it was a different ink, but this ink seems to want to go right into the paper, see? The reverse writing. A little scratchy and kind of disappointing. Now we'll turn to a longer form writing sample. I almost wrote Jessica Rabbit, so good thing I caught myself before I actually did that. And last test, we're going to do the world famous Peer Gustafson test. Whee. Alright, so that tells me a couple of things. Not a pen for rapid writing, but it's a very good, very impressive writer, so I am pleased with the pen, even if it can't pass that test. One last test I always like to do with these fountain pens is pocket test. So this is sort of an odd shirt because it has a zipper pocket that opens sideways. I don't know who thought that was a great idea, but Columbia, that's who made the shirt. Okay, come on, go on. So this is a little bit unfair. It will clip on, but it definitely can't get over the lip, over the zipper. So all in all, I'm quite pleased with this Scrikss. I enjoy finding these lesser known pens. Usually it's vintage pens I'm looking at, but every so often I run into something like that. What a fun pen. So I'm just really happy with it. And that's why it pays to shop around and look at some of these lesser known brands, because you may be passing, well, first of all, you may be passing up a good bargain, but you may also be passing up a very good writer just because it doesn't have a big name on it. So I would definitely invite you to shop around, look at the lesser known manufacturers, not just in Europe, but all over the world. There are some great pens coming out right now. I would almost argue we're in another golden age of fountain pens. A lot of people don't realize it. So, of course, the big thing is using the pens, and to me, that's what it's all about. So, if videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens both new and old and at all price points, I would invite you to subscribe. And hey, do you have any exotic pens you'd like to recommend to our viewers down below? Please feel free to leave a comment. So I want to thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.